My beloved child, how many times have I whispered into your heart, in the stillness of the night, in the gentle light of the morning dawn, in the soft breeze, brushing the quiet corners of the garden, yet you did not recognize my voice. I did not appear to you in the storm, nor did I thunder like lightning. I came through the smallest, tenderest things, a glance of compassion, a reminder through a stranger, an unexpected moment that caused your heart to pause and wonder if something deeper was trying to speak. I have spoken, my child, not once but many times. Through a mother's anxious prayer, through a child's innocent and meaningful words, through overwhelming emotions that caused you to stop and reflect. I have sent you signals from heaven, but you have expected something else, an image shaped by your imagination, a sign that fits the mold you created. You seek certainty through feelings, yet faith does not arise from feelings, it is born from trusting obedience. You wait for undeniable proof, while your life itself is the proof. Every time you were rescued from danger, every time peace beyond reason was granted, every time you rose again from the depths of despair. Are these not testimonies of my presence, my child? My love does not require perfection, but I yearn for your listening heart. I do not cease to speak nor to send signs, not because I lack patience, but because I cannot remain, still watching you remain entangled in the loop of doubt and delay. I know you are waiting for a clear confirmation, a reply that cannot be mistaken, but while you wait for clarity, you overlook what is sacred. Some answers do not arrive through reason, but only appear when you are silent in your soul and let my spirit whisper into the depth of your being. Do not let endless waiting become an excuse for disobedience. Do not let the desire to understand everything cause you to miss my call. For if you only move when everything is certain and convenient, that is no longer faith. True faith is proven when you walk through fog, trusting in my hand to guide you, even when you do not see the full path. I have called you not only to know, but to walk, not only to understand, but to act, not only to be moved, but to be transformed. Many of your prayers have already been answered, but now is the time not just to ask, but to listen, to obey, and to take a step. I have spoken through dreams, through scripture, through those moments when your heart stirred in extraordinary ways, and even through the doors that closed while you kept trying to force them open. My child, do not wait until the storm crashes down to realize that my arms were wide open in the morning light. Do not wait until everything falls apart to cry out, Father, why didn't you warn me? For I have warned, I have spoken, I have reminded. But you did not want to hear it the way I chose to speak. Stay awake, my child, for time does not wait. Some moments in life only come once, and if you hesitate too long, you might miss what I have prepared. I do not want you to act out of fear, but out of love and trust. I do not ask for perfection, but for a heart soft enough to listen and to walk even when your steps are trembling. You are not alone. I will go before you to clear the path. I will be behind you to protect you. I will be beside you, whispering words of strength. But you must move. You must believe. You must choose. My beloved child, what more do you need to wake up? What else are you waiting for to act? If you are waiting for the right moment, then this is it. If you are waiting for assurance, then I am your assurance. If you are looking for a calling, then hear this. It is my voice echoing in your heart. Do not turn your face away again. Do not keep delaying. I do not grow weary calling you, but I ache to see you miss what I have lovingly prepared. I want you to live, not merely survive, but live with purpose, with mission, with the light I placed in you before time began. Do not let the surrounding darkness dim the light within you. Do not let fear silence the voice I have embedded in your spirit. Do not let the habit of doubt blur the faith that once burned brightly inside you. Now I ask you, not with thunder or fire, but with the familiar whisper. Are you ready? Do you love me enough to trust even when you cannot see? Are you humble enough to hear my voice even when it comes in unexpected ways? Do you dare believe that I, who began a good work in you, will also be the one to complete it? Rise up, my child. Walk in the light I have given. Be my hands, my feet, and my voice on this earth. And do not be afraid, for I have been, I am, and I will always be with you. My beloved child, I know your heart is weary, longing for a place of rest in the midst of a life full of conflict and fatigue. I understand your desire to find a wide, smooth path free of stumbling stones and sudden turns. But my dear child, what you long for comfort was never what I promised first. What I have called you to is obedience. Because obedience, though never easy, is the path that leads to abundant life. I have not called you to walk in convenience, but to step forward in faith. Not because I want you to suffer, but because I have seen the eternal good that lies at the end of the road. What your eyes have not seen, your ears have not heard, and your heart has not imagined. You are looking for an easier way, a path with less pain, fewer sacrifices, and lighter challenges, but I am leading you through the narrow gate where only the steadfast and faithful dare to walk. The narrow gate is not a punishment, my child, but a choice of love. For only through it will you be refined, matured, and made more like me with each passing day. If you follow the wide, easy path, you may win the applause of people, but you will miss the sweetness of true faith. You may gain the temporary approval of others, but you will lose the smile of the one who created you. The road I set before you is not easy, but it is meaningful. It may bring tears, but those very tears will water the seeds of hope within you. It may weary your steps, but in that weariness you will learn to fall into my arms and receive strength from heaven. It may feel lonely, but that loneliness will become the most intimate meeting place between you and me. Do not think you need to understand everything to move forward, for faith does not require seeing all. It only needs to believe that the one who calls is faithful. I have chosen you not so you could live a comfortable life that fades away with time. I chose you because you have a role in heaven's grand design. I chose you not because you are perfect, but because my heart loves you and sees in you a light that can shine in the darkness of this world. You were not made for small things, for temporary goals, or to seek the nod of the crowd. No, you were made for something beyond every applause, the glory of your Father. You were made not to please everyone, but to bring joy to me alone. Every step you take, no matter how slow or shaky, if it is a step of obedience, it carries eternal weight. Every decision you make for truth instead of compromise weaves a sacred tapestry that no one else can replicate. Every time you turn down fleeting pleasures to keep your heart pure, you write a spiritual story before which angels bow. You were not created to blend into the crowd, but to stand apart, to shine, and to be a witness to the truth. You were chosen to let my light shine through you, to fulfill my will through every word you speak, every action you take, every breath you breathe. Beloved child, if you find the path ahead too narrow, too rugged, do not doubt, for that is the sign that you are walking in the right direction. If you find yourself having to sacrifice something precious, remember this: nothing you surrender for me will ever be lost in vain. Every sacrifice you make is remembered in heaven. Every step you take echoes in eternity. And I, who have called you, chosen you, and am preserving you, will never abandon the work I have begun in you. You are not walking alone. You are not fighting in vain. You are not forgotten. On the contrary, you are living at the very heart of a divine plan, where every moment of your obedience becomes the deepest form of worship. You are my instrument to love, to heal, to shine, and to glorify my holy name in a world desperately longing for true hope. So, my child, do not look back. Do not regret the wide road you have left behind. Do not fear the silence that surrounds your steps, for it is in the places few dare to choose that I am walking beside you. It is in the unseen obedience that my smile rests upon you, and it is on that small hidden path where you will discover what the whole world cannot give: completeness, peace, and an unfading glory. You belong to me. You are called by me, and I do not call you only to abandon you. I call you to bring you to the place where my will for you is fulfilled in glory. My beloved child, listen to my voice in this very moment, in the stillness within you, in the stirrings you cannot name, in the loneliness that seems to consume you. For the truth is, you were never truly alone. Even before you knew light, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I was already there, silent, yet fully present. I loved you from the beginning of creation, before you had shape, before you spoke a word, before you made a single mistake. And that love remains unchanging, unconditional, and irrevocable, even if you turn away, even if you fall, even if you doubt your own worth. I have witnessed every tear you shed in silence, every sigh you buried deep inside, every flicker of hope that faded too soon. I see it all, Nothing about you escapes my gaze. And even when you think I am silent, the truth is I am patiently waiting for you to return. I have never left you. Even in your darkest hours, when everything seems to fall apart, it is there in the heart of the darkness that I have placed a small light, just enough for you to know that there is still hope, still a way out, still arms open wide, waiting to receive you back. My love is not a blind feeling that would let you walk into destruction without resistance. I cannot stand by and watch you lose yourself in false choices and the sugar-coated lies the world parades. True love does not only soothe, it awakens. It does not merely cradle, it corrects. It does not just embrace, it refines. So when you feel your heart being stirred, when circumstances cause you to pause, reflect, or even ache, know this: it is not abandonment, but divine intervention born from my love. I do not want you to run forward not knowing you're falling. I do not want you lost in the night without a voice to awaken you from your slumber. It is precisely because I love you that I warn you. It is because I love you that I place sacred markers on the seemingly random path you walk. Perhaps you don't understand. Perhaps you are angry with me, wondering why things turned out this way, why pain had to come, why your path isn't as easy as others. But my child, there are things you can only understand with eyes that have matured and a heart that has been seasoned. Sometimes what I do is not to answer your questions immediately, but to protect your soul for eternity. I allow you to face trials not because I am cruel, but because I see a strength in you. You have yet to discover, and I desire to refine you through fire like gold, so that when you emerge, you are not just whole, but brighter, stronger, and more fiant, aware of your true value in my eyes. You may not see what I am doing now, but every step you take is under my providence. No event is meaningless. No trial comes without purpose. Every circumstance in your life, joyful or painful, is a divine touch from my hand, molding you into the image I originally designed you to be. You were not born to drift aimlessly. You were created for a great purpose, a life that reflects my love, my grace, and my light in a world that is confused and broken. So, my child, when your spirit is shaken, when dreams seem to collapse, when relationships fall apart or doors shut, do not lose hope. Listen, because it may be me knocking on your heart's door, awakening you from numbness, calling you back to where love and true life await. I do not discipline to punish, but to restore. I do not stir you to exhaust you, but to free you from deception and place you in truth. And then in the right time, when your soul is still enough, when your eyes are opened, when your heart is softened not by anger but by love, you will understand. You will see that no intervention of mine was in vain. Every time I stopped you, it was to save you from a pit. Every time I closed a door you loved, it was to lead you to a better way. Every time I caused you to pause, it was because something deeper within needed healing. And then you will lift your eyes not with resentment but with deep gratitude, because I loved you enough not to leave you to self-destruction, because I was always there even when you didn't know it. Remember this, my child, true love is not always comfortable, but it always brings life. My love does not seek convenience but completeness in you. And I, with all patience and mercy, am still here, closer than ever, waiting for you to open your heart, to return, and to walk in the unquenchable light of eternal love. Oh, my beloved child, if only you knew how. My heart longs for you to walk in strength and freedom. You would no longer hesitate between fear and faith. I am not the one who stands far off commanding you from the shadows, but the one who holds your hand and walks before you in every step. When I call you to move forward, it is not a call into uncertainty without foundation. It is an invitation into a journey secured by my faithfulness. If you walk with me, you will not be crushed by trials, for I, myself, will strengthen you, not by your own might, but by the new strength I give each day. If you move forward, even trembling, even in tears, I will sustain you, not letting you fall, not leaving you to face the storm alone, but causing you to stand firm on the unshakable foundation of my love and guidance. My child, the journey I invite you into is not a contest of who is strongest or most capable. It is a relationship where I lead and you trust. When you surrender, it means you lay down your own will to receive mine, which is good and wise. And then my guidance will no longer be abstract, but a living reality. I will show you each step, each decision, when to wait and when to act. I never call a child without equipping them fully. I never send you out only to leave you searching blindly. You may not see the map, but I am the one who designed the entire path. I see not only the beginning and the end, but every curve you must face, every crossroad that will confuse you, and every cliff where you'll need my protection. However, to receive all of this, you must learn to trust, not in fleeting emotions, not in seemingly favorable circumstances, but in me. Trust that I am who I say I am, that my word is unshakable truth, that the promises from my mouth never fail, and not one syllable falls to the ground in vain. Faith does not require full understanding, but it does require complete trust in the one who understands all. Faith doesn't need to see every detail in advance, but it must be rooted in knowing that I will never forsake you mid-journey. I know your eyes see only uncertainty, closed doors, unfinished dreams, broken relationships, crossroads without clear answers. But while you see a tangled thread, I see the full tapestry, and every thread has its place in the beautiful design I've ordained. There are things you call risks. You hesitate, afraid to fail, afraid to take the wrong step, afraid to lose control. But I see in those very things opportunities for redemption, for my power to be revealed, to renew what seemed dead. What you fear is loss when something is taken from your hands, when a door slams shut, when a dream fades. I have already been working behind the scenes to turn it into victory long before you see it. Nothing is truly lost if it brings you closer to me. Nothing is truly a failure if it strengthens your faith and softens your heart toward me. I am still working, still moving, still making a way, even when you don't see it, feel it, or understand it. So, my child, walk boldly. Do not let fear of the unknown hinder your obedience to what I have spoken. Do not let your limited sight cloud the greater truth. Do not wait until everything appears perfect by your standards to begin. The spiritual journey does not begin with perfection, but with a surrendered and trusting heart. If you walk, you will find me there. If you move forward, you will feel my unwavering support. If you put your full trust in me, you will find that my word is a lamp to your feet, a safe path through every uncertainty. And one day, when you look back, you will see that everything I did was not only right, but beautiful and overflowing with love. You will see that not one step was wasted, not one promise was forgotten, and not one act of trust was misplaced when you placed it in me. Walk in faith, my child, for I am ready to carry you through to the very end. My beloved child, there are things I long to tell you that earthly language cannot fully convey. For there are truths too profound, callings too sacred, and plans too magnificent. So I have chosen a way of communication that transcends sound and words. It is through signs. These signs are not meant to frighten or mislead you, but to reach the deepest places in your soul, the very core of your heart where no one else can touch. I use signs to awaken you from unconscious slumber, from the cycle of routine that the chaos of life can easily wrap around you, making you forget the meaning of your existence. These signs are like gentle touches from heaven, reminders that you do not live by chance but within a sacred rhythm ordained before time began. From the beginning, when I created the heavens and the earth, I did not let creation move in disorder. I placed order into everything. I made the sun to shine by day, the moon to guard the night, and the stars to adorn the sky and mark divine seasons. All things operate without deviation, serving as eternal testimonies of the precision and faithfulness of the Creator. Not a single star moves outside of my control, and no motion occurs without my knowledge. And the same is true for your life. If I can place the stars in their rightful positions, would I not also be able to guide your every step, my child? Each season of your life bears its own signs, a faint stirring within your soul, a gentle yet persistent nudge, a seemingly random scene that inexplicably stirs your heart. These are not coincidences. They are me speaking to you. They are my invitations for you to pause, to listen, and to adjust your path. When something feels off, when all appears calm on the outside but turmoil stirs within, that is a sign. When you repeatedly see the same numbers, encounter uncanny coincidences, or when a verse from Scripture suddenly echoes at the exact moment you need it, that is, my whisper, the language of heaven pressing upon your heart. These signs are not for entertainment nor superstition. They are milestones I set along your journey of faith to keep you from straying, to show you that I am still with you, still leading you. I know there are times when you doubt asking yourself, could this really be a sign from God? And I understand that for your heart yearns for certainty. But my dear one, I do not require you to understand everything. I only ask that you keep your heart soft and willing to listen. When a sign stirs your desire to draw near to me, when your spirit is moved by a sacred presence, then know it is I. Do not dismiss it quickly. Do not brush it off as mere coincidence. Pause and ask me, Father, what are you saying to me through this? And I will answer, not through thunder or fire, but through an undeniable peace in your spirit. The signs I give do not only speak of the future. They reflect the present and remind you of your true origin. You are not merely one among 7 billion. You are a soul engraved upon the palm of the Creator's hand. You were made to live by the rhythm of heaven, not the frantic pace of the world. That is why the signs I send are to lead you back to that original holiness, to bring your spirit into harmony with the heartbeat of a universe formed by love. Do you not see? Each day the sun rises on time, each season rotates without delay. It is a constant reminder that I do not change, and my promises remain steadfast in a shifting world. When you look up at the sky, remember that it is not only beautiful for the eyes, but deep for the soul. When you see the sunset painting the horizon in purple hues, let your heart be painted with awe for the one who colored it all, to say to you, I am here. You are not lost. I am guiding you. My beloved child, do not overlook the signs, for they are not merely things I send, they are parts of how I dwell with you. If a star could lead wise men to the cradle of baby Jesus, then the signs I give today can lead you into a deeper encounter with me. I do not leave you to walk in blindness, but I also do not demand that you understand everything at once. I invite you to slow down, open your heart, and realize everything I do is intentional, and you are a precious part of that purpose. So, beloved one, when something stirs your heart, do not ignore it. When you dream vividly, lift it to me. When something keeps repeating and you begin to wonder, ask me in prayer. And trust that if I have placed signs in the heavens, I will also place light within you so that you can see and walk forward. You are not alone. You are living in the midst of a divine symphony, and every sign is a note calling you into the melody I composed before the beginning of time. And in that melody you will realize I am still singing your name gently, persistently, and without ceasing. My child, pause for a moment in this hurried life and listen, not with your ears, but with your soul that longs for something deeper. Open your heart that your spiritual sensitivity may awaken, so you do not miss the signs I am patiently sending. There are callings that do not rise in words but in feelings without names, in unexpected turns of life, in gentle nudges that make your heart tremble, though you don't understand why. That is my calling, not loud, not forceful, but persistent and full of love. I am calling you forward, calling you out of what is familiar and into a place where spiritual light awaits your discovery. Do not let hesitation delay your steps. Do not wait until you have complete certainty, clear confirmations, or perfect feelings to step out. Faith does not arise from comfort, but from trust in the one who called you. Do not let fear hold you back, fear of being wrong, of failing, of not being enough. I do not ask for perfection, only a willing heart. When you respond, you will not walk alone, for I have promised I am with you. My presence will be your strength, your guiding light, your breath of life in every moment, even the ones when you feel nothing at all. Remember, my child, I do not call you randomly. Every time I call, it is part of an eternal design already established. When the moment came, I placed a star in the sky, not because it was brighter than others, but because it carried a purpose. One star among billions, yet chosen to guide the way and mark a sacred event that changed the course of human history. The wise men from the East recognized that. They did not wait for an official invitation, nor did they question. If the light was real, they prepared, they journeyed, and they encountered the King of Peace. Do you see, one star is enough to stir the hearts of seekers? And in that same moment, shepherds in the fields, ordinary people with no prestige, were honored with a sign from heaven, not through books nor vague dreams, but through the glorious appearance of angels. In the darkness of night, a radiant light engulfed them, and in the midst of their wonder, they heard a message: peace and grace to those whom I love. My child, if I did not overlook shepherds in the wilderness, how could I ever forget you, the one I have called by name, loved before the world began? If the star led the learned and angels appeared to the humble, then you can be sure the signs I send are meant for you, shaped in your language, in your context, in the way only you can understand. The question is not whether signs exist, but whether you are listening, whether your heart is attuned to movements from heaven. Do not wait for a pillar of fire or a voice from the clouds sometimes. My signs are simply a glance, a verse that comes alive, a word from someone that pierces your heart, or just a genuine feeling you cannot dismiss. Let your heart soften to recognize when I knock. And when you do, do not hesitate. Step forward. Move ahead. For behind that call is a good plan, a journey for which I have already prepared every step, every door, every encounter. You do not need to know the full map nor predict every turn, you only need to obey when I call. For I have gone ahead to prepare the way. I will shield you from behind and be the lamp before your feet. I will be the one who holds you when you are tired, the gentle voice that lifts you when you fall. Nothing I speak is without meaning. No call is given in vain. And if you are hearing this today, know this, it is I calling you once more, calling you to trust, to step forward, to become who I have destined you to be, not by your strength, but by the power from heaven. So my child, respond. Step out of your comfort zone, out of hesitation, out of the cage of fear where the enemy wants to keep you. Let your heart turn toward the sign I am revealing, for it is not just a sign, it is a message of love. And when you take that step, you will discover something beautiful. I am not just calling you forward. I am already waiting for you at the destination with open arms, abundant grace, and unshakable peace. You are loved, chosen, and led now and forever. My beloved child, in a world that grows louder and more rushed, where people chase fleeting things and forget the sacred essence within, I remain patient, gentle, and full of love, continually speaking to you, not through thunder or pillars of fire, but through signs. Signs that still appear all around you every day, like sacred messages from my heart to your spirit. They are not absent. On the contrary, they surround you like light slipping through the leaves, like whispers in the wind, like silent tremors within your soul when you face something beyond reason's grasp. Some signs shine brightly through the splendor of creation. When you gaze upon the stars that still move precisely as they did when I first said, "Let there be light," that is a sign of order and power. When you see a flower bloom in mud, a sunbeam breaking through thick rain, or someone smiling through ruin, do you see? My child, these are silent testimonies that I am still holding all things together, still moving, still renewing the world with beauty and hope. Creation is not only for admiration, it is for awakening. Everything I made does not merely serve life, it reminds you of the source of life. When you pause long enough to behold the majesty and precision in the smallest details of the universe, your spirit begins to resonate with the rhythm of heaven. But I do not only send signs through grand and majestic things. Some signs I give are just for you, personal, intimate, unmistakable. It might be a soft whisper within that stops you before you make a wrong move, or a sudden wave of peace that washes over you in the middle of inner chaos. It might be a recurring dream, an image that keeps returning to your mind, or an event so perfectly timed that you cannot help but believe a hidden hand is at work. Do not take these lightly, my child, for I, the one who crafted your soul, know exactly how to touch that soul. Every dream carries a message. Every intuition is a guiding thread. Every coincidence is part of the plan I ordained to draw you closer to the light. Do you know why I use signs? Not to frighten you, not to burden you with over-analysis, but to draw you nearer to me. When you become sensitive to what seems invisible, your spirit begins to awaken. When you learn to notice, to slow down, to ask, you begin a deeper journey, one not driven by feelings but led by faith, one not just longing for miracles but recognizing the miracle maker. Signs are not a substitute for relationship, but a doorway into one that is deeper, where I am no longer a distant idea, but a father who walks with you, present and guiding each step. I know there are times you feel confused, doubtful, or too busy to notice my gentle calls. But my child, I have never stopped sending the signs. When you do not hear, I whisper. When you do not see, I stir. When you do not understand, I wait patiently. For my love for you does not grow weary, and the mission I placed in you will not be revoked. I do not want you lost in the dark. I cannot bear to see you live without direction, forever drowning in the world's noise. That is why I send signs like stars in the night, like soft ink marks on the pages of your life, to remind you that you are not meaningless and you are never alone. And the wonder is, the closer you draw to me, the more attuned you will become to my voice. You will no longer need an angel to appear or a grand dream to know I am near. A single silence filled with peace will be enough. A faint stirring in your chest will be enough to know my heart. And then your everyday life will become holy, because you will be living in awareness, in my guidance, and in a living relationship with the one who chose you before the foundation of the world. So, my beloved child, do not close the door of your heart. Do not let the busyness of life overtake your spirit. Learn to listen, to discern, to cherish the signs, whether small or great, that I send your way. For every sign is an invitation, a heartbeat from my heart meant only for you. And if today something stirs quietly within you, if you notice something in your life that seems too coincidental to ignore, do not dismiss it too quickly. That may very well be me calling your name, taking your hand, whispering, I am still here, I am speaking, and I am leading you to where you truly belong. My beloved child, amid the noise of this world and the relentless clamor of everyday life, you may have often asked yourself, how can I recognize the voice of my Father? But I want you to know, I have never stopped speaking, never ceased seeking ways to touch your soul in ways that are close and full of love. There will be times when a sign from me comes like a resounding call, clear, decisive, thunderous, shaking you, awake from delay or fear. It may be a moment in the night when you feel an invisible force urging you to act, a strong stirring that makes it impossible for you to remain still. That is the moment when your soul reaches the edge of something greater, and I am inviting you to cross over with courage and trust. But there are also moments when I come like a gentle breeze, like the first sunlight brushing your cheek, like a tender whisper deep within your spirit. Not loud, not dramatic, yet leaving an undeniable mark, a quiet knowing that my Father is speaking, that something holy is moving inside your heart. You may not be able to describe it in words, but you will know, because your soul will be drawn toward light, toward life, toward the invitation I have prepared for you since before time began. It is not a fleeting emotion or impulsive thought, but a deep impression, as if every fiber of your being is bearing witness that this is true. My child, believe that I do not speak in vain. Every word I utter carries power and purpose. I never send a sign merely to test you or confuse you. On the contrary, every sign, whether bold or subtle, is part of the loving path I am guiding you through. I speak to awaken, to lead to comfort, and at times to protect you from missteps that your eyes cannot foresee. There are things I see from afar, while you can only perceive a small portion. There are turns I know will bring pain, so I send a reminder through a person, a dream, a sudden feeling that refuses to be ignored. That is me, persistent and tender, using every means to keep you from straying. I am not silent, though. Often you are too busy to hear, too afraid to trust, or too doubtful to receive. But I do not fault you, for I understand your heart. I know the wounds that make you hesitant, the disappointments that close your heart, and the moments you feel unworthy to hear my voice. But my love does not flow from your worthiness. It flows from my unchanging nature. I loved you before you believed, and I will keep loving you even through your doubts. It is because I love you that I keep moving on your behalf, even if that means dismantling the false sense of safety you cling to, so I can bring you into liberating truth and overflowing life. Every sign I give is not to make you dependent, but to draw you into a living relationship with me, where you no longer fear when you see nothing, because you've learned to trust that I am still working even in silence. There will be seasons when it seems I am absent, when no sign appears, no emotion stirs, no clear prompting arises. But do not let that discourage you. For I am still active behind the scenes, arranging, preparing, and doing what is good for you, in timing and ways only I know to be perfect. So, my beloved child, do not seek only the loud calls. Learn to treasure the sacred silences. Be sensitive to the gentle stirrings in your heart, to the impressions you cannot explain but know come from heaven. Let your spirit be tender and humble, ready to listen, even if it is a cry or merely a breath. And when you hear, do not delay. Act in faith, because faith is the bridge between the signs I give and the miracle I desire to unfold. I never make mistakes. I never speak anything in vain. And I never stop loving you. The signs are my way of piecing together every part of your life into a meaningful masterpiece, a picture that one day when you look back through your tears and wonder, you will declare, "My Father was there. He spoke. He truly led me." And in that moment, you will know every midnight call, every gentle prompting, every step taken in trust was never in vain. For I, the one who loves you with unfailing love, have always been with you in every moment, in every season of your life. My beloved child, let your heart be still in this moment and listen to what I am speaking, not with the noise of the world, but with the whisper from eternity, where all things begin in love and end in glory. I know you long to understand the path before you, to see what lies ahead and to be assured that you are on the right track, and I am not silent in the face of that yearning. I am the one who loves you and also the one who leads you. I do not guide you into darkness, but into light, not with confusion, but with wisdom from above. And for that reason I will reveal my way to you, little by little, step by step, like the dawn that gently breaks, not blinding, but clear and steadfast. When you see a sign, do not rush, do not react with emotion, and do not let your imagination carry you far from reality. Bring that sign before me in sincere prayer with humility and attentiveness. Ask me, "Father, is it you who is speaking to me?" And then wait patiently for the answer. For I not only give signs, I also give discernment and wisdom to understand their meaning. I do not want you confused or lost among fleeting emotions. On the contrary, I want you to walk in clarity that comes from the Holy Spirit, clarity that surpasses human understanding, that steadies your soul in the storm and strengthens you at every crossroads. My child, remember that I am still who I have always been, yesterday, today, and forever, unchanged. My word does not contradict itself. My signs are not born of chaos. If I spoke through signs to the fathers of old, Abraham, Moses, David, Joseph, then surely today I still move deeply in the lives of each one I love. I never cease to speak, to guide, to orchestrate. Do not think that I am silent or distant in this generation. My revelation will not cease until everything I have determined is fulfilled, including your part in that eternal picture. You are not a lost piece. You are an irreplaceable part of my glorious plan. Therefore, my child, be steadfast. Be watchful. Be faithful. Do not merely long for grand signs. Will be mindful of the small but holy details around you. A purposeful dream, a coincidence too perfect to be random, a scripture that comes alive at the exact moment your heart is wavering, an unexpected encounter that carries divine confirmation. All of these seen through spiritual eyes are mile markers guiding you closer to the destiny I have prepared. But you must be awake. For the one who stays awake will recognize my presence, while the distracted one will miss divine appointments. I want you to understand this clearly. The signs I give are not meant to frighten or burden you. They are not to cause anxiety or trembling over the unknown. On the contrary, they are given to prepare you, to strengthen your spirit, to shape your heart through obedience, and to remind you that nothing happens outside the loving oversight of your Father. I do not give signs to weigh you down with responsibility, but to gently draw you near, like a father reaching out to his child, calling them close, teaching them what is right, whispering, "I am here, and I will never leave you." My child, each sign is a reminder you are not alone. In every season, whether in abundance or adversity, I am whispering beside you, I am still working, I am still guiding, I am still leading you to where you belong. You may not see the full picture, but I see it. You may not understand all the reasons, but I do. And one day when you look back, you will see that every sign, every revelation, every word I spoke wove together an undeniable journey, a journey of grace, of love, and of divine direction. So, my beloved child, walk not with fear, but with faith. Receive the signs not with confusion, but with gratitude. Let every sign become a living testimony that I am with you, not only in your prayers, but in your every decision, your everyday moments, your silent steps through life. And when your heart wavers, return to this promise that I am the God who never changes, who still speaks, who still leads, and who still works for your greatest good. For you are, my child, loved, chosen, and guided each day by my mighty and merciful hand. My beloved child, when you come before me with humility and a trembling soul full of reverence, you have touched the deepest essence of true worship, not worship built on ritual, but on the full awareness of the one before whom you bow. I am the one who is majestic and yet full of love, the one whose wisdom surpasses all understanding, and the one who loved you before your first breath. I am the creator of all things, the one who ordained the beginning, and who will conclude all things in glory. I hung the stars in the sky, laid the foundation of the earth with a word, and established the universe with my powerful and gracious hands. Every wonder you see in creation is a trace of my presence, a living testament that nothing escapes my sovereign rule. I am the beginning and the end. Nothing happens without my knowing. Not a single tear you shed escapes my remembrance. Every silent prayer of yours rises to my throne, and not one longing that seeks me is ignored. For I am the Lord God Almighty. None is like me. None can compare with my unchanging love, my enduring mercy, or my absolute holiness. The thrones of men will fall, earthly fame will fade, but my kingdom stands forever. And in a world that constantly shifts, I remain the unchanging one, and that is why you can be unshakable. My beloved child, throughout the stream of history I have never left my children wandering in the fog of confusion. I have revealed myself across generations through the written word, through the prophets, through divine revelations, and through sacred signs etched into every chapter of humanity's story. As you read the ancient accounts, you will see Abraham followed a star. Moses beheld the burning bush that was not consumed. Elijah heard the gentle whisper in the wind. These were not mere legends. They are truths I perform to declare that I am still speaking, still guiding, still unveiling myself to those who seek me with a sincere heart. And even today I continue to send signs, not to display power for its own sake, but to remind you that you do not walk alone, that my will is being fulfilled silently, yet mightily. These signs may not always be visible to the eye or audible to the ear, but they awaken your spirit, stir your heart, and draw you closer to me. It could be a whisper in the stillness of night, a peace that comes in the middle of a storm, a dream too vivid to dismiss, or a divine coincidence that causes you to pause and ask, Father, is that you speaking to me? I do not give these signs to instill fear, but to invite you to walk in trust, to know which path to take, to grasp the good intentions I have prepared for you since before the foundations of the world. These signs are preparation when the winds blow against you, encouragement when you feel small in a vast world, and light when the road ahead becomes obscured. I do not promise that your path will be free from trials, but I do promise that every step you take will be kept by me. No decision will ever be yours to carry alone, and no challenge is too great when I am by your side. So, my beloved, keep your heart humble and attuned to my presence. Come to me in prayer when you do not understand. Ask me when you perceive a sign yet feel uncertain. And believe, truly believe, that I will never leave you abandoned amid life's countless choices and crossroads. I will reveal to you step by step, season by season, moment by moment. But you too must be faithful, be watchful, be steadfast. For faith is not built in sunshine, but in the dim days when you still choose to trust in what you cannot see. Let every sign I give become a sacred appointment between you and me. Let them be moments where you pause, listen, reaffirm my unwavering love, and receive strength to go on. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are living within a divine symphony where every beat carries the breath of grace. And when you live in holy reverence, in gratitude and faithfulness, you will come to realize that nothing is more precious than to know, to believe, and to walk with your Creator. I am here, my child. Still the same I who spoke the universe into being in the beginning, still the same I who now call your name in the quiet, and still the same I who will forever love, forever lead, and forever reveal myself to those who seek with all their life. Hearts, therefore walk on, not in trembling fear, but in resolute trust. For I am the living one, and you are the child whom I love beyond measure. My beloved child, in every seemingly ordinary moment of your life, I am silently weaving sacred messages for you, signs of my love, my presence, and my unwavering guidance. You may not always recognize them. At times you may have overlooked or doubted them, yet I have never ceased to send them. I am not distant, not hidden in some unreachable realm. I am near, so near that a single ray of light filtering through morning leaves could be my message. A breeze passing by could carry the breath of heaven. Each sunrise is not merely a natural event, but a quiet, powerful testimony of my faithfulness, that after every night, light returns, that though your life may change, I remain unchanging. My child, learn to recognize my presence in the small things. Do not wait for a miracle that shakes the heavens to believe that I am at work. Do not expect a thunderous voice to know that I am speaking. For sometimes a whispered prayer you once thought forgotten is now answered in a miraculous way that is a sign that I am listening, still moving. Sometimes a chance encounter with someone whose words speak directly to what you're struggling with, that is a sign that I am using others to remind you, to heal you, to lift you. And sometimes when your heart is confused and a sudden warmth rises within a still small voice whispers, do not fear, I am here, that is me, not in loudness but in the gentlest of love. Yet I know there will be times when no sign seems to appear. There will be seasons of storm when everything feels shattered when you pray, and only silence answers when your heart is heavy with doubt and fatigue. You may ask, are you still here, Father? Are you listening? Do you see my tears? And I want you to know it is in those very moments that I am closest to you. There are signs that do not appear in light but are found in darkness. They do not arrive with thunder, but with unshakable, quiet endurance. If you are still standing in the storm, if you can still whisper a prayer, even if it is only a sigh, that is already a sign. A sign that my grace is still holding you, still covering you, even when you cannot see it. Therefore, my beloved, do not rely solely on your natural eyes. Learn to see with faith. Ask for your spiritual eyes to be opened, that you may not miss the sacred words I send in every moment. Ask me for a heart that is awake, not merely to survive, but to recognize, to treasure, and to walk with me in every step. Do not let busyness blur your vision. Do not let fear numb your awareness. And do not let doubt steal the holiness of moments that were meant to be divine appointments between you and me. These signs are not to be idolized, but to remind you that you have a Creator who loves you deeply and personally. I do not send signs to frighten or confuse you. I send them like golden threads woven into the tapestry of your faith journey, so that when you look back you may say, oh, Father was there. He led me through. He was always with me. And it is through these signs that your faith will be strengthened, your heart warmed, and your soul no longer wandering, but returning to the source where my love flows unceasingly. My child, learn to pray, not only to request something, but to seek me. Say to me, help me recognize your signs. Help me not just to live, but to live aware that you are here speaking, guiding. And then when your heart is cleared of worry, my presence will fill you. I will speak to you in a way that only you can understand. I will use the familiar to reveal the profound. And when you keep your heart open, when you choose to listen, to trust, to walk, you will not only see the sign, but you will encounter the giver of the sign. And in that encounter you will be transformed, not by what you see, but by the one to whom you belong. So, my beloved, stay awake, be attentive, pray, and seek me with all your heart, for I am, and I will always be here, giving you signs of love, of presence, and of unending hope. You never walk alone. And with every step you take, a light from heaven follows behind you to remind you that I am still here, whole, alive, and full of love. Amen. As a child of God, you are never alone. He is always by your side in every moment, to remind you to live in faith and in His love. Follow and turn on notifications so you won't miss any word I send from heaven. Amen.